Get a head start on your next trophy buck. Order stand placement advanced techniques today at Closing the Distance.
Hi, I'm Matt Moore. Welcome to this week's Closing the Distance. On today's show, we're bow hunting hogs. We've got a lot of cool footage. We've got some neat tips on how to hunt hogs and how to find that perfect setup. Let's get started.
Closing the Distance is brought to you by Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Hunter Safety System, dedicated to saving hunters' lives. Executioner Broadheads, born to kill. Treason, don't just blend, become. And by Citadel, revolutionary shoot-down shape. After the break, host Matt Moore reveals hog hunting secrets to help you close the distance. Later on, Steve Hurd slams several hogs. We'll be right back. Closing the Distance is made possible by Matthews Solo Cam. Catch us if you can. Tree limb quivers. There's only one tree limb quiver. Sword sights. Sharp solutions in aiming. Elusive wildlife technology, taking the elusive out of wildlife. The stage deer attractant, finally, a synthetic scent that works. And by the amazing Luminaut. Can your aeronaut do this?
Welcome back to Closing the Distance. We're hog hunting today, and I wanted to show you a couple setups and give you some information about how to scout for hogs and how to find where they're at. Obviously, I'm standing in a creek, and this creek here runs year-round, spring-fed, and you can see there's a spring comes off this hill right here. You can see where the hogs have been wallowing around in this sand. It's not, and it is turned into mud. It's not really that clay mud, it's just sandy mud, and it's really, really cold. No matter what time of the year it is, hogs love water, especially in the summertime. But you can tell even here it's the middle of the winter and hogs are hitting this spot. But when you find hog sign like this, what you have to keep in mind, how are you gonna get to it? This is down in a creek bottom and you just can't access this spot to hunt it because you'll run the hogs out getting down in here. So what I decided to do, I've got two setups on this. I've got an easy access point on this same creek about 100 yards down, and I made another setup just right on top of this hill. Let's go take a look at it. Once you locate the water source where the hogs are getting their water from, then you always look for where's the thickest cover around there, because hogs are almost always bed in the thickest, nastiest, cut over brush piles that's around. And right here behind me is an old clear cut. It's thick, it's woolly. There's hog trails all through it, a lot of hog sign. It's easy to see where the hogs are bedding back there. But I still have the problem, you can't access it. I can't access the hog's bedding area without getting busted. I can't access this water without getting busted. Let's go back up on top of the hill, just right up here, and I'll show you my setup and show you what my thought process was to killing a hog. No matter what game species you're trying to hunt, but if you have to hunt them based off a traditional bow setup, whether it be a climbing stand, lock on, ground blind, I've told you this 1,000 times and I'm gonna tell you it again. You have to make your setup based off your access. You can't just go hully-gully blowing through the woods and making a setup. Even though the hog sign is down on that creek bottom, it's only 150 yards away, I can't access it and hunt and kill a hog, I have to make my setup up here so I can get to it. And you can see the road that's behind me. It's easy access here, and the timber type here changes. I've already mentioned the big cutover, the big bedding area that the hogs are using, and I made a real simple, easy setup with a corn feeder. I've got my feeder set up right over here, and you can see how the hogs have just been coming to it and coming to it. I put a post in the ground over there to get my trail camera put on, and I've got a ground blind set up only about 22, 23 yards away. That's right underneath these hickory trees next to some yopon. It's on a platform, obviously. Here it is in the late winter. And this blind has been up since early September. And just by scouting, it was easy to read. And the times that I've hunted here, the hogs have come out of the thicket behind me. It's always been the last 5 to 10 minutes before dark. Usually when I sit here, I'm seeing 5 or 6 hogs, 10 hogs, 11 hogs at a time. It's an easy spot because I'm in that ground blind. I can run my ozonics. I know they're not going to smell me. I've just got to be able to hunt it when there's daylight. Hogs come in here, you can get a good shot. There's that new 75 grain executioner. Blood up to the fletching. It's an easy setup, but when you find hog sign, always set your stand based off your access. Just don't go hully-gully putting stands up. Really read it, read the sign. I guarantee you'll shoot more hogs.
Coming up, we'll check in with Steve Hurd, and we'll reveal more tips on locating hog hotspots. Don't go on your next hunt without knowing why you might miss. Get your free copy of Shot Placement 101 today. Details at closingthedistance.com. Closing the Distance is brought to you by Ozonics. Undetectable, undeniable. Hunter Safety System, dedicated to saving hunters' lives. Executioner Broadheads, born to kill. Treason, don't just blend, become. And by Citadel, revolutionary shoot-down shape.
I want to show you all another hog setup. Right here, look how neat this is. All this clay down here in this soil. Everywhere you look is where hogs have been rubbing. You got this natural spring that just stays wet here year round. They just mud in here all the time. But where this is in the middle of the woods, and there's not really any good place right here to set up to bow hunt. So what we've done, we went, it's probably 200 yards back to our north. We made a setup that's got easy access that we can get into it. We're gonna have a feeder running, but we're gonna hunt these hogs 200 yards that way. This area like this is here for a reason. It's secluded, hogs can get to it without being disturbed. This is what the hog bedding area looks like. Rooting and wallering, mud rubs everywhere. You can just see this trail coming out here. Walk around over here, Dwayne. Let me show them something. You've always heard and talked about, you see these mud rubs, this up here at my waist, but hog's not that tall. He's gonna rub right here with the top of his jaw, underneath his chin. He's gonna lean on this thing and he's gonna push. He's not rubbing on his back. You see a lot of hunters, I saw a mud rub that hog. That hog was that tall, it was that big. No, he's just stretching up there, rubbing and scratching up here high, but pretty cool. When you're hanging ladder stands like this, always have a buddy to be at the bottom to hold it. And what Dwayne's gonna do first, before he ratchets the ladder stand to the tree, he's gonna make sure his safety is #1 concern. He's gonna lock himself in with his hunter safety system vest and get himself secure and then he'll worry about the ladder stand. But I always have a buddy to help hold. We got Doc Spike down there holding it. Dwayne's up there high. This is a 20-foot ladder. Really tall stand. Get that buddy, needs to be secure at the bottom. And another tip, when you're hanging ladder stands like this, I always have the buddy goes up, have somebody that looks more like a cat instead of somebody that looks like a cow. You need somebody that's agile, that's mobile, lightweight, and got good balance to handle these little stands like that. But Dwayne is up there secure. Now what Kenny can do now, Kenny can throw him up the lifeline. Lifeline's down there. He can pitch that up there to him, and Dwayne's gonna show us how to make sure that thing is secure. Because with a lifeline, the way that product's designed is you're gonna hook onto it at the ground, and you never undo your hunter safety system vest. But the hardest part and the most dangerous part of hooking one up is right now. But Dwayne's secure. Doc Spike's holding it. Everything's good. And the lifeline goes up right there about your shoulder height, because he's going to be sitting down. He's going to always have tension on. And you really don't know till you get up there if you're going to shoot standing up or shoot sitting down. But the lifeline ties on at the top first. We're going to tie it off at the bottom. Have us a really nice setup for hogs at 2 Point Plantation. Perfect spot.
When we return, hogs are on the ground. We'll be right back. Want more from Closing the Distance? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. Closing the Distance is made possible by Matthew Solo Cam. Catch us if you can. Tree limb quivers. There's only one tree limb quiver. Sword sights. Sharp solutions in aiming. Elusive Wildlife Technologies. Taking the elusive out of wildlife. The Stage Deer Attractant. Finally, a synthetic scent that works. And by the amazing Luminaut. Can your aeronaut do this?
This is a lot bigger sow than I thought it was. That's a good shot.
Yeah. I thought it was low for some reason, but it turns out it's a good shot.
Well, it had a good thump to it, you know, had that nice and good sound to it. Wow, that's a lot bigger sow than I thought she would. What do you think, about 100 pounds? 100, yeah. 120? Here's a thought for you. This is the entry, and for all the world, that's got to catch both lungs, if not the heart too. And what are we, 100 plus yards, maybe 150? I mean, we blood trailed this hog a long ways, leaving blood the whole time. And it just goes to show how far they can really run, hit really good. So don't give up on your hog. Sometimes the best shots are still going to be a good long blood trail. So
All right, our hog is right up under this cedar tree right here. This is actually kind of a tough track. There's some natural red, if you can, maybe you can see this, some of this grass is red in it, and it makes it really tough out here sometimes to track blood. But that's the way to do it. Rather than just try to wander around out here, man, you'll do that for hours. And as you can see, he has camouflaged himself up underneath this cedar tree. And if you're just wandering around out here, you know, blends in with the rocks and all that kind of stuff, it's hard to see these things. So your best bet is to follow the blood all the time. He is very much expired. Let me see if I can pull him out here. Oh, this old tail. Oh, look at that. That is a real good size Texas Hill Country hog. If you have not hunted out here in Texas for these things, I suggest that you get out here and do it as soon as possible. It is a whole lot of fun, and there's just tons and tons of hogs out here. They've taken over. And most of the landowners out here, man, they'll let you shoot as many as you possibly can. So, lots of fun. We're gonna get this dude back, get him cleaned up. Hopefully we'll get a deer tomorrow to go along with him. All right, here's our hog. We had to track him in a circle because she spun around about 15 times and didn't run very far, but was a little bit of a job to track. A little 80-pound spotted hog for you. Good. We've had that hog over at our feed station all morning. I guarantee he's been over there 3 hours. We can't shoot to it though because we got no shot over there. So we've had some corn out here trying to get on a big buck this morning.
That we saw.
Yeah, and we saw him. We just didn't get a shot on him, but this hog was eating at our feed station the whole morning. And I told Shane, finally, we had some deer, they left. I said, if that hog manages to come out and find this corn that we got in the ground in front of us, I'm gonna shoot him. So I did. And we put a good shot on him. That was fun.
I tell you what, folks, when hogs come from downwind of you, ozonics work. That whole group came, that wind is right straight this way, they came straight from downwind of me. Let's go get him. That old executioner will be good for another pig. Just clean that up a little bit and whack another.
That hog hunting, it's a lot of fun. And what I like about it is that hogs, they're gonna leave their sign. You're gonna see those mud rubs. You're gonna see where they're walling around, or where they're rooting and where they're feeding. It makes it really easy to scout. And here in Texas, what makes it so much fun is that you can hunt hogs 24/7, 365. There's no season, there's no bag limit. Scout, hang those stands. I guarantee you, you'll have success. Let's check in with Brother Mark.
Matt makes such a great point on today's show. Every one of us love deer season. I know I do, but it only lasts just a few short months in the fall. But there are other outdoor activities that we can pursue like hogs 24/7, 365, and I'm so thankful for that. But you know, it got me thinking about something. There's also something else that we can enjoy 365, 24/7, and that is a personal relationship with our Creator. I pastor a growing church here in North Florida, and I'm thankful for that. But there's something that we have seen over the course of the years that I've been here. On Christmas and Easter, those particular 2 days, we see a 30 to 40% bump in attendance, and that's awesome. We're so grateful for that. But I've often thought to myself, man, people really don't know what they are missing out on when they only experience or encounter God just a couple of days out of the year. God loves us, man, and He wants to have a personal relationship with us. And it's not something that we just can experience a couple of times a year or once a year. God wants to know us and have a personal walk with us every single day of our lives. We can know God and have a personal relationship with Him 24/7, 365. And I guarantee you, if you'll try that, it'll change everything in your life. If you'd like to know more about a personal relationship with God through His Son, Jesus Christ, just go to closingthedistance.com and click on the Moment of Truth tab.